Welcome to Lotus Health Education, Empowerment through Health Enlightenment. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about something that for most of us tends to be synonymous with a particular month of the year. For many people here in the United States, at least, the month of October is when we tend to think of a lot of women's health topics, particularly breast cancer. But it's never too early in the year to start thinking about the types of things that we can do to keep ourselves healthy and reduce our risk of developing breast cancer, or in the unfortunate situation that you have developed breast cancer and are on active treatment, engaging in certain lifestyle changes, particularly thinking about some of the foods that we're eating in order to help whatever the treatment course is that we're on. This video is going to be the first in a series that we're going to be doing, looking at some things that are found in foods that we can incorporate into our diets, as well as are manufactured as part of supplements that can help either reduce the risk of developing breast cancer or assist in some of the benefits that are found through various types of treatments for cancers. So let's get started taking a look at what some of these things are. While a diet inclusive of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean meats is considered the cornerstone of a healthy diet in general, when we're talking about cancer risk and unfortunately, if you're being treated actively for cancer, your response to therapy, whenever those topics come up, it's going to be particularly important that we ensure that we're eating a healthy, well-balanced diet. While those things are important in general, we've actually found that there are additional benefits with compounds that are present in certain foods that many of us commonly eat, that when these particular foods are consumed in adequate quantities, these compounds that are present in them can provide beneficial effects at either preventing our development of cancer or assisting in our response to cancer treatment if we're actively undergoing treatment. We're going to focus for the purposes of this video series on about 7 of these compounds, and while they're by no means the only things that you can consume to help give you some benefits with either prevention and or response, they are going to be a good place to start if you're looking to make some changes to your diet, or if you want to make adjustments, again, guided by a healthcare professional with certain things that you're doing if you're actively undergoing treatment for cancer, particularly breast cancer. Let's take a look at some of these compounds now. The first is going to be carotenoids. Most of us are familiar with these because of that guy right there, carrots. But in general, with many fruits and vegetables, carotenoids are going to be where they get their characteristic color from. But for us as humans, when we consume these foods, they are going to provide us with beneficial effects. In the case of carotenoids, they are believed to have antioxidant properties, which we're going to talk a little bit more about for a few of these videos, particularly with the carotenoid video for this series. But these antioxidant effects help us to engage in certain things in our body that will reduce our risk of developing cancer. You'll see here, in addition to carrots, things like beets, cantaloupe, and kale contain different types of carotenoids that can give us some beneficial effects for looking to do things to help ourselves with preventing the development of cancer. The next are going to be isothiocyanates. In the case of these, which are represented by, again, another thing you're going to hear a lot about in this video series, cruciferous vegetables like our friend here, broccoli, isothiocyanates have the beneficial effect of reducing carcinogens, which are substances that can promote, unfortunately, the development of cancer in our bodies. They reduce the effects of these substances in our bodies, and it's also believed from some of the research that's being done on isothiocyanates that they can kill cancer cells, or at least assist in the process of them being killed within the body. So cruciferous vegetables in general are going to be a very good source of this, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on our isothiocyanate video. Phenolic compounds, which you can see here represented by, among other things, again, cruciferous vegetables like our friend the bok choy, whole grains, as well as things like flaxseed and certain other types of foods. Phenolic compounds prevent or at minimum slow down the initiation and progression of different types of cancer cells in the body. It's also believed that they have some benefits with anti-inflammatory and also, again, antioxidant effects as well. Flavonoids are the next compound that we can find in some food items. You'll see here represented by green tea, which is one that it's found in pretty readily. Flavonoids, again, have those antioxidant effects that we talked about. They also can suppress what's called cancer cell proliferation, which is basically the medical term we use to refer to the advancing or progression of the condition within the body. It has some additional benefits as well, believed to be interfering with the cancer cell function within the body, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to the flavonoids video. Organosulfides are another compound. These have, similarly to what we talked about with the flavonoids, anti-proliferation effects, again, that advancing of the cells in the body. And it's also believed that they have some additional benefits with, similarly, again, interfering with the cell function when you have cancer cells interfering with the way that they carry out certain activities within our bodies. Leeks, as you see here, and substances like garlic contain these organosulfides. Isoflavones are another one. These are going to be, again, antioxidant in terms of the benefit that they provide. Isoflavones we'll talk a little bit about. These tend to be a little bit on the, unfortunately to say, controversial side because of one particular food group, namely soy, that contains isoflavones, and some of the benefits versus the risk that are associated with these particular substances. In addition to soy, though, isoflavones can also be found in our friend here, the chickpea. And last but certainly not least are indoles. Indoles are found in our ever popular friends here, the cruciferous vegetables, which, like I said, I did warn you are going to be very popular in this video series. Indoles are believed to have some benefits in that they stimulate basically enzymes within our digestive tract as well as our liver that are believed to have some benefits to us in detoxification. It's also believed that they serve some purposes in prevention in 3 main types of cancer, breast cancer being specifically among them. We'll talk a little bit about indoles and where they're found in our cruciferous vegetables, the amounts that they're found in, and these additional benefits that they're believed to have with prevention and the things that they do in the body, in our digestive tract, as well as in the liver. This video provides an overview of some of the compounds that we're going to take a look at a little bit further as we investigate this particular subtopic within women's health. Look out for the videos that's going to explore each one of these compounds in detail. And as we talked about, one of the big things that we want to do is encourage the incorporation of healthy foods into our diets. So with each one of these videos, we'll have a recipe or two associated with the use of these particular foods, talk a little bit about the forms that you can take the foods in, whether eating them raw, cooking them, and the content of these particular compounds that you will find in the supplements that are made of them, or to consume of the foods themselves, and ways that you can prepare them so you can incorporate them into your diet. We're going to have this video series posted soon, and please feel free to put any comments or questions in the chat so we can discuss a little bit more. Here's to your enlightenment through health education. Thank you for watching this video from Lotus Health Education and Wellness. We hope that you enjoyed it and find the content useful on your healthcare journey. We want to remind you that while eating healthy, like a lot of the recommendations that we'll make in these videos, exercising, using certain supplements and medications recommended to you by your healthcare team or that you hear about in general, may be beneficial in many ways, that it's always important to also continue to work with your healthcare team that's responsible for looking after you. Whether that's a primary care visit or a specialist, always make sure to follow the guidance that they provide. Try to keep those regularly scheduled appointments. And while we appreciate the trust and the respect that you may put into a lot of the content that we'll provide here on our channel, always make sure to run that by them anytime you're going to be incorporating anything new into your routine. And also to be mindful that even with our best efforts and all of the things that we'll try to do to keep ourselves healthy, certain things like our genetics, the environment that we live in, other health conditions that we have, and a lot of other things that we may not know about ourselves are unfortunately going to impact our health. Don't get discouraged by that. Always make sure to continue on trying to live your healthiest and being well every day, and follow up with your healthcare team. We hope that you do enjoy our videos. If you do, remember to push that like button and also subscribe. We'll be putting out a lot more content, and we hope to see you back here for empowerment through health enlightenment.